What's up, Quadcopter fans? HiringADrone.com. Today I'm going to be doing a video on my V303 Seeker. Christmas came a little early. I received my new props in the mail. These are DJI V303 props, as well as it came with these big ass prop guards. Both combined were roughly about $18 or so. I'm not sure if I'm going to install the prop guards on here. You know, it might be a little bit of overkill, but you can never be too safe. You know, if you do crash, wreck, tip over, this could definitely prevent any type of damage to your props, especially if you know, you put your props on incorrectly. So I haven't even opened this bag up. These are self-tightening props here, and I'll leave a link in the description as to where to be able to get them. But I have my old V303 Seeker, or just the standard ones that come with it. I had a pretty nasty chip in one of my props, and it just came from, you know, me not paying close attention, putting one of these props on backwards after taking it off. Quadcopter flipped over, this chunk was taken out, and it's starting to deteriorate actually over time, and it's getting bigger. So that's a concern. Causes unstable flights, as well as unnecessary vibration for the gimbal that I have attached below. So in order to change this out, what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to go ahead and get a Allen wrench. If you don't have one, pick one up, because this is one of the easiest way to get these nuts off here. And basically, you know, we'll just kind of apply a little bit of pressure against the propeller. And I'm going to go ahead and be mindful of what color the prop is, or I'm sorry, what color of the nut that I'm taking off is, just due to the fact that these are colored too as well, the props, the new ones are. So these were okay, you know, they made a little bit of noise. They got scuffed up quite a bit when that did flop over, but it would be nice to get away from these with the self-tightening. I just truly hope that, you know, self-tightening actually does what it says it's going to do, and this thing does not flip over, or a propeller does not fall off while this thing is in flight. Now, you know, luckily I did number these to the motors, not necessarily which one is correct, but more so the order in which I know that they go on. So this does match up with this nut here and on here, and it's telling us how to screw this in order for it to self-tighten. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start putting this on here, and hopefully we get a nice fit, which it did. Now I did purchase some other props similar to this. I purchased them specifically for the DJI because I heard that the V303 and the DJI props could fit. When I received them in the mail, they did not fit, so I wasn't able to use them. But when I purchased these specifically said that they were for the V303 Seeker as well as the DJI Phantom. So first one went on without an issue, and let's go ahead and break this nut off here. It's on here pretty tight. We'll get the second one off, and then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to match the blades up just to make sure that, you know, we're putting the same props on. So one way to make sure that the props are going on correctly is to match them up with, you know, obviously the previous props that were on the quadcopter. And what we're looking for is we're looking to make sure that this part here, where the lip is, this is going to be spinning in the correct direction. So then that way it will cause lift. So as you can see on this one, it's going to be spinning this way, and we need it to catch here. I'm sorry, it's going to be spinning this way, and we need it to catch the wind flowing underneath in order to make it fly. So in this scenario, that propeller will not work, but this one is angled correctly in order for us to be able to catch wind moving underneath it. So we can go ahead and screw this one on, and if we follow the arrow on the motor, it's going to tell us that it's going to spin this way, so the wind will blow underneath here, giving the quadcopter lift. So we'll go ahead and try to tighten this down the best that we can, and then we'll go ahead and we'll stick this one on here. If we notice the arrow, it is spinning this way too as well. So when this propeller spins, it will catch the airflow here. So it's going to be spinning upwards like this, so the airflow will be hitting it here, causing lift. So in order to get these self-leveling props on, there's indicators on them, and let me just pull this up here. You have your lock and unlock. So we're just going to go ahead and spin the propeller to the icon on it, which shows us lock, and then we'll try to tighten them up the best that we can. And as the propeller spins, in theory what's supposed to happen is that this is supposed to go ahead and tighten the motors down, tighten the propellers down while it's flying. So I ended up getting red. There wasn't too many colors to choose from. It was either that or yellow, and yellow just did not go with the quadcopter, at least in my opinion. So I went ahead and elected to get the, oh shit, there goes one of my nuts. Good thing I won't need it anymore. I went ahead and elected to go ahead and get the red, just because it was a little bit cooler than the yellow. Although the yellow would stand out if, you know, I had another V303 seeker in the area, or someone else I knew was flying one, or owned a different one, but I only owned one, so not an issue. So again, we're going to be looking at the direction here of the motor for our counterclockwise and clockwise. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this one on here, since this will be spinning in a counterclockwise motion. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to follow the icons or emblems on the motor, which tells me how to tighten it down. And then we're going to go ahead and get this sucker locked in. So now we have this locked in. And just to give you a comparison between the two propeller sizes, so this is the standard that comes with it. This is the DJI V303. A lot wider here at the base. Should get better lift, and they are slightly a bit longer. So hopefully that will get better lift, more power. Shouldn't be over propped with these. These little ones handled fine, just the way they were. Could be a little bit better. They did make some noise, so I'm thinking that these props here, the new ones that I'll be putting on, they'll be a little bit more quiet whenever the V303 is flying. Probably eliminate some of that buzz sounding almost like a bee. So I'm going to again follow the instructions on here of which way to go ahead and spin this prop in order to get it to lock, which it is. And now we'll, you know, spin this in this direction here, which is going to show us, you know, how this propeller will be going whenever it's starting to fly. So it needs to spin around like this, and again the wind needs to catch it under here, which is an indicator that we do have it on the correct direction. So All of them are on, and gonna be taking this for a flight, and I'll be able to report back to you exactly how they handled, if I noticed any improvements. I'm not really looking for major improvements, but it does scare me just a little bit knowing that these are auto locking, so I don't really have control over it in regards to making sure that they're as tight as they can be. But once the quadcopter starts flying, these are supposed to tighten up on there and give it a nice snug fit. So I did not go as far as balancing them. I don't believe I will need to, but if I do get some unwanted feedback in regards to the motors, I'll go ahead and bring those back to balance them. So real quickly, while I have it here, I'm just going to go ahead and fire it up, and we'll go ahead and get an idea of what these props sound like. So let me go ahead and scoot the camera back. Safe distance, or safe enough for me at least. So if this video helped you out in any way, definitely give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more upcoming videos, flight reviews, as well as flights in the future. And be sure to stay tuned. I will probably be putting those prop guards on that came with this for free, explaining how to do that and how to install them too as well. And then I will report back as far as how these propellers handled in comparison to the stock propellers that come with the V303 Seeker.